I was lucky and fortunate enough to be, as you said, born in Brazil. I was educated partly in Lebanon and then in France. So when you live into countries like this, I think you're prepared for the 21st century, because 21st century is going to be about diversity and about identity. And if you don't respect diversity and identity, you're going to end up in conflicts. Because at the end of the day, the basic of conflicts is fear, and fear of what is different from you. I consider that 21st century, which is just starting, is going to be a century where if we see diversity and difference as a threat, we're going to have a terrible century. On the contrary, if you can say, well, difference is wealth, as long as we can manage it, then you're going to do very powerful economies and very powerful society. When you look at the latest report of the United Nations about climate change, it's scary. It's really scary. So, yeah, some people say, yeah, academicians are exaggerating, maybe it's not going to happen. I can tell you that it's going to happen. And what's going to happen is scary if we don't stop it. And we have all a responsibility, including myself, a double responsibility as an individual, but also as a head of two car manufacturer, to develop the technology and put the solution, and then hopefully let the government do their job into making sure that the emissions become more and more strict in order to push the consumer toward the right solution. For example, let's take the electric car and the zero emission. We have invested about 4 billion euro, which is around $5 billion, into developing this technology and the products. And a lot of people say, you know what, you're putting $5 billion and you're selling, this little number of cars, and how can you afford that, etc. Fortunately for us, the performance of the company has always been good. So the shareholders, even though they blink because they say you're spending all this money and what we're seeing out from it, they're saying it's okay because you're still growing the company and you're still making money and you're still paying dividends. So they don't see too much the cost of it. But if by any bad luck you were having a bad year, I can tell you this would come back to the table and it will catch you. So in a certain way, sustainability is hard. It's not easy. Defending the strategy to develop zero-emission car, you need to be always on top of it. And people, it's normal. They are asking for results. And they're asking to be convinced. So you need to continue to be on top of it. But fundamentally, I think I'm doing the right thing for Nissan and for Renault. And I think ultimately it will pay a lot, not only in terms of business, but also in terms of branding and in terms of image. I can tell you already the pride inside the company for all the people working around electric cars and developing this technology is very high. So in terms of engagement, in terms of motivation, it's already big. Image of the brand also is strengthening. We didn't do it for that, but I think we are starting to have some of the consequence of this strategy, waiting for the business results to be positive.